Let's see now how the dashboard is operated on the SOYICH platform. Once you successfully logged in into SOYICH account, pop-up will appear for creating of SOY IDs. You can press the close button here. Okay, before starting or explaining about the dashboard, I would like to tell you that SOYICH has an amazing feature that no other sharing application has. Whatever files you need to share, you need to create a SOY ID and upload those files in it first. Just like to send an email to other person, you need to create a new mail and attach the document file in it. You need to create SOY ID and attach the files in it and then push to the other user. On the other side, the other user at the receiving end has to create SOY ID to receive files and documents. In case of email, the other person has to create email account to receive mails. This SOY ID is somewhat work like a letterbox. The user can share the password of the SOY ID, like the key to the letterbox, to other users so that the other user can get the access to the documents and data stored in the ID. This SOY ID can also be sent to other users with the help of receiver's SOY ID and password. So to create a SOY ID, you have to click on the Create SOY ID here. Then mention name. For example, I am creating a revolutionize. It's already there. So whatever name you can mention your name. To maintain the uniqueness of each SOY ID, it starts with the user ID. This is a country code and this is your mobile number, that is a user ID, which will appear here by default. Users are free to decide the name of SOY ID and mention it here. This I have decided now. Fill in the default password. In my case it is now 12. Select the files to upload. Okay. In my file, I'm uploading this. Or you can also create the empty SOY ID without uploading the file. There are 4 types of SOY IDs. There are features. One is OTP validated, traceable, permanent and replaceable. A SOY ID can be of various kinds depending upon its needs, while the most common ID is the OTP based ID with 2 forms of access control, that is OTP and existing password. There are others too which gives the users advantages. So let's go for the OTP based. The OTP validated ID is where the user receives an OTP on the registered mobile number each time the ID is shared. Ideally, this option is best when the contents to be shared are confidential and private in nature, such as copies of passport, driving license, tax-related identification including PAN cards and like. The permanent SOY ID has no push or pull functions and is merely meant to store. At best, its creators can delete the ID as per their need and convenience. The traceable ID is the unique feature where user can trace the movement of the SOY ID he has created. The replaceable SOY ID is another unique kind where the file in the ID gets replaced by a new file that is pushed into it. For example, SOY ID for profile is automatically replaced with the new file profile next time it is uploaded. So right now I just want OTP validation. Okay, I'm pressing on continue button. Sharing password window will appear here. Set sharing password. So this option only meant for the smart and business user. So I am a smart user, so I got this option. If there is nothing to save here, you can click on the skip button. Okay. Now here is the pop-up showing that the successfully creation of the SOY ID. If we want to share this SOY ID to someone else, you can push this SOY ID to other user by clicking on this push icon, or if you have created empty SOY ID, or even though not empty, if you want to receive some files in this SOY ID, you can pull from the other user's SOY ID by clicking this icon, or you can continue here. So SOY ID once created will appear here in my SOY IDs list. So you can copy this SOY ID, push this SOY ID to someone else, some other users, pull the SOY ID, you can view the password, upload documents in the SOY ID, lock the SOY ID, or you can delete the SOY ID.